Alrighty, welcome back. Hope you had a good week. Starting off with back and forearms today. Should be a good session. Haven't done it in a while, but yeah, nothing different, nothing changed. It's going to be same as before, stock standard, but it should be good. Yeah, there's not really much going on at the moment. Sticking to my calories pretty well, still around that kind of 3,000 mark. Yeah, just really enjoying training at the moment. Having that time off was annoying in terms of kind of that consistency and kind of the mental aspect of it as well. But I think having that time off really allowed my body just to rest, because I've managed to hold on to quite a good amount of strength. Obviously I'm slowly building up the kind of my size and kind of fullness, I guess, from before I had that break. But overall it's looking I'm really happy with my progress, particularly my quads as well. They've really definitely grown some significant size, which is always good to see, always a positive thing to see. So yeah, other than that, there's not too much else going on. Probably starting to mentally prepare myself to go on a mini bulk soon, as it's kind of coming up to that mid-year zone where I'd want to try to start eating a bit more. I don't want to go into a very insane bulk, probably just adding a bit more onto what I'm eating, but still doing cardio, so it's reducing my fat, how much fat I'm retaining. So that's kind of the game plan at the moment, and then do that for 3-ish months, so probably until August, and then pretty much from middle of August through to probably January, February, go on a cut. That way it's a bit longer and I'm doing it earlier, so that way I can kind of try to reap the benefits of it more during the summer. And then once that kind of February period hits, then that kind of March, April, May, like what I'm in at the moment, bit of a recomp, bit of a maintenance. So that's kind of the plan at the moment. So we'll just see how that all goes. But the bulk and the cut won't be anything, extreme. Like the bulk will probably just be an extra 600 or 800 calories on what I'm doing at the moment. So 36 to 3800 calories. And then the cut would be towards like where I am at the moment, or even lower. But over a longer period of time, so that way I can really chip the calories away over a kind of better time range than trying to squeeze it in, for 2 or 3 months. Since it has to be quite a harsh cut, and I'd rather just slowly chip away at it. It's just my preference that I want to try this year. We'll give it a shot, and if it doesn't work and I need to do it to cut a bit harsher, then so be it. But at least for this year, this is how I want to try doing my dieting. Just take it from there. It's about it really for today. Feeling good, slept well, I've eaten enough, so no complaints there, and now time to smash out a good session and see how it goes. So I'll leave it here and I'll chat to you in a bit. Session today. Didn't necessarily get the order that I wanted in terms of doing the exercises, but that was fine. The quality was good. Hadn't done a back day in a while. Strength was really good. There's not too much complaints. I got rid of the normal forearm curls, so I just did the cable ones, and then I didn't film the last one, but it was essentially just with a lighter dumbbell and doing it reversed, so yeah, that way, just get kind of that top section of my forearm. It was also good because I like doing it because it's a nice kind of purposeful movement where it also, I feel like, really can strengthen up my wrists as well, because wrist strength is always good to have, and it's not about, I guess, strengthening in terms of your PR on your wrist. It's just more like just keeping all of like the tendons and the little ligaments there, nice and strong, nice and healthy. Keep them moving, making sure they've got a bit of kind of stress under load. There's nothing kind of directly that you'll use your wrists for unless it's kind of bicep related, because you can, when you're doing curls, even though you're meant to be focusing on your buys, kind of subsequently you can end up bringing a lot of your wrist into it and a lot of your forearm, but loading a lot of weight up onto your wrist isn't obviously good. That's why I want to be able to do these exercises, but I'm still targeting my forearm, but the kind of background to it is also it's strengthening and keeping my wrists nice and healthy and not overloading them, but just doing like a nice movement. I felt it has helped in terms of my back day, especially with anything that's loading quite heavy onto my hands, and for other days like my chest days or arm days, it's felt really smooth, and not any pain or flare-ups in my wrist, which is good. I do wear wrist straps with certain exercises on certain days anyway, just as a preventative kind of thing, but kind of overall, I do like making sure that my wrists stay nice and healthy. So I was doing those off camera. And then I did 30 minutes on the bike, which went really well. Today went nice and smooth. A bit of a get in, get out type session, so it went by nice and quick, which is an even better bonus. So no complaints for today. I was going to do some posing, but kind of just lost motivation, just lost a lot of energy. Can't be bothered, but I'm going to try to do it tomorrow, but we'll see how we go. There's not real much else to add really. Just training's going really well. No complaints so far. Still need to work out when this program gets a refresh, because I don't know when that's coming up. So it'd be good for me to know, so that way I can really push myself as hard as I can right to the end, to try and get the most out of all the exercises, and to feel like I've finished the program off in the best way that I can, both physically and mentally. Physically being, I've put heaps of what's the word? I always say it, intensity. I can say to myself, I've completed this program and I put 90% intensity into every single lift. I can't say 99, because there's some that I quit before I should have, but if I can say at least 90% of all the lifts, all the sets I did with maximum intensity, I got something out of it physically, whether my legs grew, my arms grew, or whatever, and that the lifts were, regardless of how long it took me, were starting to go up in terms of the weight was going up, or I was getting stronger. As long as I hit all those markers, I'm pretty happy. Some exercises won't go up just because of the nature of them. Like, I always bring this one up, like cable rear delt flies. Like, I'm not looking each week to try and PR on them. It's a very specialized and isolated exercise. So for me, it's more, if I can say to myself, I brought strong, like really strong intensity to those to that exercise, and I didn't necessarily PB or PR on them, but I stayed with the same weight. I didn't go down. I'm pretty happy. On that exercise, I don't need to be going up and up and up. I'll move it up as my body gets used to it, but because it's such a specialized, very isolating exercise, you don't need to pump, you don't need to smash the weight up, because you're going to end up either incorporating muscles that aren't meant to be used, or your form's going to really lack. So I'd rather try to keep like a happy balance of that. I'm prioritizing form and targeting the muscle directly, then jumping the weight up so I can get stronger by strengthening the muscles that aren't actually meant to be used, if that makes sense. Especially for rear delts, if you're really throwing a lot of weight up and you're just throwing, the cable around, most likely that's your front delts that are, moving to move that weight, probably indirectly your biceps as well. Whereas I'd rather just, really lock down my form, really isolate that muscle, and be able to get a good pump in, to that targeted muscle, than just to ego lift it, if that makes sense. So, for that one, I don't need to be looking at PBs and it going up. Most likely, if I look on heavy right now, for just say rear delts for argument's sake, the weight over time would most likely just be dead flat. Wouldn't have gone up, wouldn't have gone down. And then other exercises that I want to strengthen, could be, I don't know, fucking easy bar tricep push downs. Like that, even though you get to a point where you get as strong as you really can, it would be good for me to see that that's very slowly, maybe by the smallest of increments, going up, because you start hitting that top plateau where you physically either need to put on more mass to move it, or you need to somewhat cheat the reps to be able to get it down. So like for that exercise, what I'll most likely see is that I'll see when a program changed where it wasn't incorporating that and it would have gone down, and then see it slowly go up, and then hopefully, all things going well, that I see it going upwards ever so slightly towards the end of a program. That's like the most ideal case, and that's what you want to try and aim for. And it all comes back down to that. You want to really try and push yourself as hard as you can throughout the program, but in particular kind of that last, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks of a program, because that's when it's starting to taper off. You're starting to build a new program, get excited about the new program, so your mind's not really, I guess, focused on your current program, I would say. So there's the tendency just to kind of become a bit complacent and just do the bare minimum, where you want to keep doing what you've been doing through the entirety of the program and push yourself, keep the intensity really high. So, you know, that's the crux of it, and that's what I always want to try and aim for. You know, obviously throughout the program, but as I said, in particular when it's coming to an end or coming to the tail, I really want to try and maximize it as best as I can. So I'm going to go back and hopefully, if I remind myself, look at when this program is going to be refreshed, and then we'll start trying to really push even harder to get new PBs, new warm-up weights, all the good stuff. So yeah, got that to look forward to. But anyway, for now, I'll just leave it here. Thanks for watching if you've made it this far. Always appreciate all the support. And yeah, if you want to see anything in particular or a video idea, let me know. I'm always down to change things up. But yeah, we'll leave it here for now. And I'll catch you tomorrow when we're doing some arms. So I will leave it here, and I'll see you then.